fucking serious right now? Story of my life.
Okay, here we are, back in the 2025 Escalade, giving you an episode of what it's like being married, because a lot of you people have asked what the story is with, like, how do we do it? How do we stay married and in love and all that spark and bedazzly, whatever the hell you want to call that shit in marriage? And so I guess our story is, we got together almost, actually this year will be 20 years we've been together, and he worked a different job at the time. I lost my job because of my son. You guys have all heard that story. And now in 2008?
Don't know what you're asking, so I can't tell you yet. In 2008?
No, Ella was born, so it was 2009 when we decided. Yeah, Ella was born, and then it was March or April. I don't know, it was something like that, but it was in like 2009, 2010. He thought he was having a heart attack, but it was the stress of both businesses, like running two different companies. One he didn't own and one he did own. And it was chaotic. So he decided to leave that job and go full-time over at Ziggy's, which has been fun. I guess.
Sometimes,
yes. And I guess at that point, we just decided this is what we're going to do, and we're going to just make it work. But both, I would say him and I are both, I don't know, driven individuals, or I don't know, we both have had a passion for cars. He's obviously older than me, so he has had a passion a lot longer than me. But what would you say, babe, what would you, like, motivate? I don't know, what would you consider us? We're not like a power couple, but
she drew me in with sex, and then I drowned it with booze.
He didn't even drink when I first met him. I'm the one who made you a drinker.
Correct. See?
Oh, wait, that's fucked up.
There might be booze in my coffee.
There's no booze in your coffee.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
Really well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what they say.
We just click together. We know how to get it done. We can usually finish each other's sentences. We know what one is going to want. We have the same determination, the same drive, the same go-getter.
Right.
Not to say that other people don't. It's just that when you find somebody who is on the same page with you all the time, it makes your life a lot easier. Of course, we have struggles. Everybody has struggles. And most of the struggles always come back to the same thing that every couple has troubles with, which is money. There's always a money struggle, which it's terrible that your life revolves around money.
Well, I think our biggest problem, so when we first started, this took a long time to build, right? So we didn't just wake up one day and, we click and everything works. No.
So if you're going to talk about that, you have to go over the whole thing about how it actually got there. I started working at Ziggy's in 88. I worked at Ziggy's from 88 until 98. In 98, I left and took a job at Davis. Davis Automotive and Towing, and then I worked my way from there to the top in a short amount of time, and then I came back and bought Ziggy's in 2003.
Right.
So then I ran Ziggy's, well actually my brother ran Ziggy's and I ran Davis, but Ziggy's was still struggling. There was just something missing, that it wasn't not enough help, whatever the issues may be. I think part of the problems is my brother, who is a unbelievable mechanic, but the problem was he wasn't able to mechanic because he had to run the counter, and I think that was one of the things that hurt us. We weren't using what his ability was. I mean, he's unbelievable what he does, and so anyways, at that point, like Angie said, the company wasn't doing great. I was running somebody else's company.
The voice of Moo have been reported ahead, and frankly, I'd watch it.
And I thought I was having a heart attack. I remember sitting up in the office and telling Angie to dial 911. And the ambulance came, and they said you may or may not be, so we took the ride to the hospital, although I wouldn't go in the ambulance. Angie ended up driving me. And they did their tests, and they said I wasn't having a heart attack. It ended up being stress.
Stress
So-
is a killer, buddy. By the
So
way.
I needed to make a decision. And you and I sat down and went back and forth. Actually, at that point, I had a lot of vacation time that I hadn't used, so we took some vacation and we went away for 2 weeks. We went to California to decide what we were going to do.
That was the last uninterrupted vacation we had.
And then we came back and decided that I was going to leave my job and go back to running Ziggy's. And now Ziggy's is what it is, from what it was to what it is. And we have definitely grown it. We've added a lot. But the thing about that is, and it's a curse and it's a positive. And lately now, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to think it's more of a curse than it is a positive. But what that is that Angie and I are never happy. There's never enough.
Well,
But-
I wouldn't say that. We are happy, so I
Right.
wouldn't say we're
Right.
never happy.
It's to say I don't want to say exactly that.
Yeah.
That's the wrong word. But what I'm saying is, it's you
We
know,
want more.
we always want more. I always want to go buy the next thing, whatever the next thing is going on. And next thing doesn't mean the latest things on the market, just whatever that next thing that I want to pursue is, or she wants to pursue is, such as she wants to pursue this podcast career, Hot Rod Mess. That's what's driving her right now. We just bought another house, so we're rehabbing another house right now. Not that I have any time whatsoever to be doing it.
I mean, we both have these drives that we want, like, and we're both car people. We're both in love with vehicles and all that stuff, and which I guess kind of makes us a good pair in a sense because we both like cars. So like when he says to me, "Oh, I want to add this to our collection," or "I want to build a huge garage," I'm like, "Sweet, awesome." Or, you know, some women want diamonds and whatever, and I'm like, "Ooh, maybe we should have a shiny hot rod of some sort." Like that's
Yeah,
that's where
don't
the
let her
bond-
fool you on that either, because she also likes diamonds.
Not, if it was a toss up between diamonds and a hot rod, I would choose the hot rod all day long. You can't even say that I wouldn't, cause I would. You can't say I wouldn't.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't. I did not say that. But anyways,
Oh, this guy.
so I say it's kind of a curse, you know, younger, more risks. The problem is getting older, and I think about that. I want to retire. I want to relax. I want to go sit on a beach with Angie someplace and relax. And the thing about that is I don't even know how to do that.
I don't know. You seem pretty relaxed in Georgia.
So, those of you who know that I have been in Georgia, which is I've just walked away from the company, left it with Angie and Jacob, and I went to Georgia with our youngest, and
By the way, where we're headed right now is to the airport to drop him off.
so I can go back to Georgia while he's trying to pursue doing motocross. And
But here's the thing, though. We didn't always have, like, everybody's like, "Oh, you guys are in touch with each other and all that." Listen, we did not. We did not always have that. In the beginning of our relationship, it was rough. Like, in the beginning of our relationship, I let my past kind of dictate who I was going to be. I ended up lying to him. He threw me out of the house. I was out for the weekend. It's the longest I've been thrown out. Which I can't really... I mean, it was a trust issue. So, since then, I just tell him, you know, even if he doesn't want to hear it and he doesn't like it, I tell him it.
just don't lie to me.
It's easier for him to swallow something awful than swallowing a lie and knowing that you lied. And I understand that now, but like a lot of you have heard me say, like, the best thing about my husband is he's given me grace and he's let me grow, because we're 16 years apart, which obviously when I met him, he was established. I came along and I had a kid and all this, and I was not established. I was actually quite so a shit show looking back. But I was 20. I was young. I didn't know any better. I was just starting out in life, and then I was starting out in life as a mom, single mother at that, with a child that had medical issues. And when him and I met, he didn't realize how bad my oldest son's issues were. Actually, I worked for him as a dispatcher, and I never forget, he sat me down one day and he says, hey, the girls aren't going to be in on Monday to take care of you, so I know you're out drinking and partying all weekend, but I need you to really be here on time come Monday. Yeah, and then I moved in with him 2 months later. And then he met my, really, like, walked in and saw what I was going through with my kid. So that was a struggle. But then the biggest thing is money at that point in our life. We did not have money at all. Like, we were on financial, like, I shouldn't even say financial assistance because we couldn't qualify for financial assistance. We qualified for WIC, which, I don't know if any of you out there know it, but that's a fucking joke. Because I had a son who was severely allergic to peanuts, but don't worry, I could get 8. What was it, 8? Well, how many did we get of fucking peanut butter?
That he was allergic to milk. He was allergic to eggs.
I got so much milk.
So nothing you could get, you could use.
Right, nothing was worth it. It was awful. And then when we went to Ziggy's full time, I was going to college at the time, and like a lot of you hear me say, like, I'm uneducated. I have some education, but I didn't graduate from college, so that technically makes me uneducated. And
I disagree with that because I only made it to high school like her, and here we are.
Here we are.
Not everybody works well with a college degree.
Well, it wasn't that I was actually going to school to become an attorney. And then I got hit with a lawsuit for defamation of character, which was a crock of shit, for $2.9 million. That's wild. And then I had my daughter and all that. And then we went to Ziggy's full time. So it just wasn't in the cards. It was focus on, I don't want to say focus on my husband's goals or his goals, but I mean, essentially that's what made the money. That's what was established.
It wasn't necessarily a choice, exactly. It was, you make choices. I look back now and I am so happy for Ziggy's and I am so against Ziggy's because it has taken so much from me. One of the reasons why I'm in Georgia right now with William is because I missed the other 2 kids growing up. I was always at work. I mean, at one point, I used to work 7 days a week. And then after a while, you know, Angie said, listen, you have to at least give 1 day to the family. So I went to 6 days a week. And we did that for a long time. And then I used to bring, when we finally got our auto sales license and that, I used to bring cars home in the garage. And Angie and I would clean them in the garage at night. That way we could get them out. I do. I remember how bad that car was. And I remember the car that we bought that the motor came apart on the way home and trying to fix it in the garage at home because we didn't have any money.
And we didn't have tow trucks at that point, so
no.
We had to, like, it was literally, we'd go to the auction and it was, he'd get in the car and he'd press the brake pedal. Yep, this one's got brakes.
So
this one's a little questionable. And I'd be like, oh, great. And, like,
so we had a tow dolly. We'd tow him behind on a tow dolly. So we'd go up and she would drive whichever one was less scary back and I would tow back the other one on the tow dolly.
So great. And then there was that epic moment where learning experiences, right? So I would always go to the auction with him and we would go to the auctions at night because the one auction on Thursdays at night because we couldn't
leave the shop
during the day. And it was just us. And I misread, I don't know if anybody remembers that the NADA used to be in a book and you would have to like look at the column and follow it over and blah blah blah. And when I gave him the retail price of a PT Cruiser. Oh, the worst. First of all, a PT Cruiser is probably like the worst car they ever invented.
PT Loser.
Yeah, it's probably like the worst car they ever invented. And we ended up bidding on it, winning it, because of course he was bidding at retail.
That's also when I learned that the auctioneers pay attention to what's going on because there wasn't anybody else I was bidding. He just kept going like this and I kept going like this. So so he just kept raising the dollar amount. But that we were young. I hadn't done that. We learned, we made mistakes. Now that same thing though, Angie sold that car in a freaking snowstorm.
I mean, when I say snowstorm, we're talking, you can't see the roads. The snow is just pouring the fuck down. I mean, pouring down. You can't see nothing. And this guy comes in.
There was like 6 inches of snow on the ground at that point.
Right. Plow trucks couldn't even keep up with it. And then this guy comes in and goes, I want to test drive that car. I went, are you ready? Like, I was surprised you guys are open. We're only here because we had to move cars and stuff because of the snowstorm.
We were leaving, actually.
Leaving. And when we came home, we told his buddy, Dave, we came home, we're like, hey, we sold the PT Cruiser. And he's like, the fuck out of here. No, you didn't. That car has been sitting there forever. And we were like, no shit, guys coming in. He gave us all the money.
Yep.
And he wanted to know if it would last in the snow. And he made it in the snow.
And he bought that.
Yeah, because he made it, he bought it. But then you have other things like...
But, you know, back to the tow truck. She was just talking about, though, that we used to use a tow dolly. And now here we are all these years later, and we have 10 trucks.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's been a lot. And, you know, through all this, we're raising a family and making sure our kids are stable. And we both of us came from nothing. I mean, we didn't come from rich families. We didn't come from well-off families. I mean, 2 of my children don't even know what it's like to be in a regular school. They are only in a private Catholic school. Like, they don't understand that. My oldest one, he's a little different. He understands the struggles because he kind of grew up with the company. He grew up with us.
He did.
So you'll see a lot of us like, arguing or fighting or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're all still a team and we all pull it together. Like as you guys saw with the motorhome and all that, I'm pulling it together. Mm-hmm. And is there, I mean, I'd say there's some jealousy in there off the kids. There always is. I don't care what you're doing.
If you have kids, there's always jealousy.
There's always jealousy.
But even at that, we say, you know, pull it together. We, the house we just bought was, it was full to the brim. We had a 30-yard dumpster, and every one of the kids was there.
And they bring their friends. Like, hey, you want to hang out with me? My mom will cook you dinner, but you gotta come help out.
Right. And in, you know, 3 days, we emptied that house out. Everybody gave the time that they could, and we got that house emptied out. So, you know, one more box checked and move on.
And I think the other thing is people don't realize it. Like this is a lot. This is a lot of work. Marriage is not. You know, we were together for 10 years before we got married. We at that point had already had kids. We'd already established the shop and all that. And I've always wanted to get married. I think he always wanted to get married, but I think his previous relationships have tainted him on wanting to get married. Am I wrong, right?
No, you're right.
So, for him, I mean, well, and then they have, like, he had trust issues, so...
I still have trust
Yeah,
issues.
he does. He still has trust issues, but now good old Boston highways. But now, I think as a couple, we've been together so long, like, I know what takes. Like, some people, like, my kids will be like, just go do it, and I'm like, no. Like, why? Padre doesn't, he's never, I'm like, listen, you don't understand. Padre and I don't do stuff without each other. That's how it goes. We do not. We will talk about it, and I'll let you know. But then there's also that famous, go ask your father. And he'll be like, what the fuck? Why is she telling you to ask me? Well, because if I say go ask your father, by this point they already know. The answer's no. So what happens is they've annoyed me enough where I have said, go ask your father.
Yeah. Well, we don't play that game.
No, he did once. He was authorized to make a decision one time. I say authorized. He can make any decision he wants. And that's the other thing. Like,
No, I'm more talking about Jacob comes in the garage and asks me some question. I don't know. I mean, Jacob was little. But whatever it was.
4 or 5, maybe.
He came in the garage. I was working in the garage, and he says, can I whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. 5 seconds later, the garage door, and I told him no. Well, how was I supposed to know that? And that is what happened. Go ask your mother. She told me to go ask you. Still don't care. Go ask your mother.
Ask your mother.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me. But, I mean, the other thing is that you have to keep in mind is communication. So people are like, how do you guys do it? We communicate with each other.
Anything, even if we don't want to hear it.
I mean, we've been to the point, and it hasn't been butterflies and rainbows. Like, we've done the couples therapy thing and all that. That ended not so well, but we did it but it also...
You know what? We both have our own therapists, and I think that is fantastic. And even at that, every once in a while, when I have something that I'm struggling with, Angie will come to one of my sessions to help us work through something that I'm having trouble with, or vice versa, or I will go to her session with her. And I think, listen, therapy I think is a wonderful thing. It's unbiased. You can say anything. There's never going to be any repercussion. And sometimes it just helps you walk through things.
It's a shit box. It's where you dump your shit.
Right.
You dump your shit on somebody else who's not going to be upset or emotional about it.
Correct. And it helps.
Yeah.
It's helped me think some things through. I remember, I don't know how long ago now, it was a while ago, but I remember going to therapist and Angie had pissed me off about something.
Shocker.
And I was up and down. She did this and she did that and she did this. And I'm waiting for him to say, yeah, you know. And he says, yeah, kind of sounds like you were an asshole. I'm like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be on my side. I pay you.
Well, but
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing is going for me. Like my, you know, like the other thing is my therapist explained to me chapters, right? So I am 16 years younger than him, and I have a extreme sex drive. Like that's my deal. But I'm like, well, he doesn't hold my hand like he used to. And so finally she was, listen, no. You gotta understand he's at a chapter, you're at a chapter. Where you're gonna be at one chapter of your life, he's already gone through that chapter. So now he's gonna have to wait for you to catch up to his chapter. And then you'll probably be at the same chapter going through it at one point, and then you're gonna split off. So you then have to give him grace and let him get through that chapter. And since she has said that to me and explained to me like what you were when you were 20 or 25 or he was when he was 20 or 36 or whatever, that's not who you are now. You have different circumstances, you have different this, different that. She said, and you really need to take that into consideration. And you're asking a lot from him. And me mentally, I'm like, no, I'm not. But she's right.
Some of your opinions change over time, your views on things. But the one thing about me and Angie is that our actual goal is still pretty close to the same. Has it veered a little bit here and there? It has. Like the house that we're in, I never thought we were going to buy another house. I thought the house that we had prior to this one was going to be the forever house. And we had looked at houses for, swear to God, 10 years we had looked at houses.
10 years. Our realtor didn't believe it when we told her, because she was the same realtor for 10 years. And she didn't believe it. She goes, no way, you didn't buy that house. I'm like, yeah, we bought the house. She goes, no, shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
seriously, girl? And she goes, holy shit, no way. And we did. We bought the house. I mean, it is like our dream home, essentially.
It's everything that we wanted.
Yeah.
It was rough, but we're getting there. It's close.
We're getting.
But anyways, your life changes, your goals changes, but in the end, when I go to bed at night, I can go to bed and say I love my wife, and when I get up in the morning, I can say I love my wife.
Same.
Even when I go to bed and I'm mad at her, because it happens. Life isn't perfect. Every now and then you have a bad day. You go to bed, and even though I may be upset with her when I go to bed, I still love my wife. I love her at night. I love her when I'm mad at her. I love her when I'm happy with her. I love her when we're partying. I love it when we're working. It's just, there's struggles. And I'll tell you, work is a struggle. And it's every day is hard. The days at the shop are hard. I mean, I do think it'd be better if we didn't work together. And, I've often told her I'm going to fire her.
He has fired me and then expected me to be back at work on Monday, which is bullshit.
Right. Because we can't afford to not. I mean...
Only that.
She would actually, I think she would enjoy that too at some point, because one of the troubles is this, when you're gone at work all day and you come home and then you talk to your spouse about what happened. The thing being is we already know everything that happened because we were there together.
And I can't be like if he was like, oh, so how was your day? Well, my boss is a dickhead.
Right.
I really wish I could punch him right in the face. Oh, really? Okay, thanks. Great. So, yeah. Like, you can't even, it's tough. Or, he's, like, people are like, wow, she's the boss. Well, at work, as I tried to explain to my son, my oldest, I said, dude, home, maybe I'm the boss, but work, no, I still have to answer to my boss, and he is my boss. And for a long time, when I say my husband's giving me grace, that's what I mean. But because I had to learn that, because
That's a tough thing.
it's tough. It's tough.
While trying to do happy wife, happy life.
Right, and you can't really. There is no happy wife, happy life when you work together, because you have to separate. So when people say, okay, like we'll just say for instance, when people say sex is sex and love is love and this and that, it's the same thing. Work is work, home is home. Shut it off. And
But that's another thing when she says shut it off, that's almost impossible to do. We can't help, but no matter where we are, Ziggy's comes up in conversation.
it's
It is so much of our life that it consumes. It really does consume you.
It does. But here, I mean, the good thing is, though, what has Ziggy's taught us? Ziggy's owning your own business, what has it taught us?
The
It's
government
taught us-
sucks.
Yeah, it does taught us that the government sucks.
Town of Barnstable sucks.
Oh, yeah. Town of Barnstable can suck it and pluck it.
Oh, okay. I'll let you go.
Yeah, we're not on that, though.
Okay.
What has it taught us? It's taught us that we, together, my husband and I, can conquer the world. Like, we've watched friends get divorced.
Yeah.
We've watched people, like, just not, like, I can't even believe it or not, he was with somebody for 10 years that hated sex. Oh. And be fake with each other, or this, that, and the other, or not say something like, if my husband tells me, hey, you know what, honey? Please don't make that again. I really didn't like it. I'd be like, really? I really thought that was good. You didn't like it? No, I did not. Please don't do it again. I'm not mad at him for days. I don't want to punch him in the face. You going to the left?
Yeah.
I'm not like, this asshole, blah, 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 blah.
But there was a time that would have been a problem too.
It would have, but it took me a while. Here's what I've learned, okay? Here's what I've learned. This is my wifey wisdom 101. Just remember who and why you fell in love with him. Because you were there for a reason, and you got there for a reason.
Correct.
And no matter what, you are going to hit bumps in the road. You are going to have a shit show. Nothing is ever going to be sugar-coated, and you got to learn to laugh it off. You have to. I mean, there are some things, or my best advice, fuck it out. That's what you got to do.
That's a good one.
That's the key, right? When people ask, what's the key to a good marriage?
Fuck it out.
Fuck it out. Because that bond that you have between you and your partner in life, especially if you've got kids together and all that, you have...
By the way, I just want to note, supercharged.
You just gave Vinny a nervous breakdown.
That's okay.
My level back there. By the way, I'm not into like politics, so don't think like that was a dig at anybody. It's just funny because if you bring a gun out or a knife, Vinny starts barking and freaks out on you. And the other thing is like, my husband, he gives me grace. He lets me be who I want, but I know where the line stops. We've been out partying and whatever, and we've done whatever, and when he says, no, time to go, it's time to go, no. Or, I'm not okay with that. If he says I'm not okay with it, I have to respect that. And it's no different than him saying, me saying to him, I'm not okay with it. I mean, he was talking to this girl one time that he wanted to stay friends with her, and I don't really give a fuck. But I just didn't like the feeling of it, and I wasn't okay with it. So I said to him, I'm not okay with it. And they didn't talk anymore. Because we respect each other. And you have to respect each other. I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of couples forget.
That actually, she makes it sound like she's controlling, and that's not the case at all. I really can pretty much well do whatever I want.
Yep.
And it's not an issue. So she's not controlling. She lets me be who I want to be. I let her be who she wants to be. But we have a guideline that we both know. We don't cross the lines that we know will push the other one to the end. Why do you want your life to be miserable?
Right. I mean, I'm never going to put myself, and I have been, I didn't purposely put myself in this situation, but I have been put into a bad situation where it was, what are you doing? Well, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. They invited those people over here. Well, Now I know I'm not going to put myself back in that situation. So I've made, and I think he has too, we've made our circle. You getting off this thing?
Yeah, I suppose I should get over.
I mean, unless you want to turn around and go back home.
Nope.
We have built a life. When I tell you I am with my best friend, I am with my best friend. And let me tell you, there's some fucked up shit in his head. And I can pretty much tell him anything I want. Anything I want. And he might go, oh, I'm going to need an extra therapy session this week for that one. Or, you're E, babe.
E?
Terminally is
Terminal
frontier.
E. Okay.
Because
And we need parting.
So,
All right, you're going to have to start thinking about wrapping this up, though, because I'm going to be getting out of this car in a minute. Parting aircraft.
So, we're at different phases of our life, yes. Bottom line, what's the number one thing you would have to say to people?
Love your wife. Respect your wife. That's the bottom line. There's always an error or whatever the right word for that is, of respect. I don't do things just to piss my wife off. Well, don't get me wrong. Let me rephrase it. I may do some things to piss my wife off, but it's in a different type of thing. It's not going to end up with me getting divorced or something like that. So,
and you know what? The best advice my husband has ever given me was, don't ever say anything or do anything that you can't take back.
well, that's for damn sure. And I am proud of the fact that I have never said anything to you that I regretted.
Never. When I tell you I am literally treated like a princess queen, and that is, I guess, as my daughter said, he just has you on a high pedestal. Yep, he does. And we hold each other to, I don't want to say like a high standard, but we do hold each other to a standard of respect for each other and love for each other. And we always think of how am I going to make his day better? Or how am I going to make her day better? And that's what we do. We never...
Don't go out of my way to make her life miserable.
No,
There's
who
no
wants to do
benefit of that.
Who wants to do that? So, with that being said, I'm sadly getting...
Pulling up to the airport, people. I'm going to have to get out. So, I love my wife. I love all of you. Peace.
We love you guys. Thank you so much, and thanks for tuning in to Hot Rod Mess. If you like what you see, please like us, love us, subscribe. In the comments is a lot of Hot Rod Mess After Dark after hours, is happening, and that is all the behind the scenes stuff and all
Where
the
is
crazy
Frontier?
stuff. So like us, love us, and please love your wife, love and subscribe, love your husband. Okay? Peace out.